Be honest. How many times have other people's bad behavior sent you spiraling this past week? And ruined your day? A flaky friend, a rude comment, a passive aggressive text message, and suddenly you are at a level 100 when you were at a level 20 right before. Here is the hard truth that I had to learn. If someone else can push a button and hijack your emotions, you do not own yourself. They own you, and you are acting like a puppet. And it feels awful because it's out of character, but you aren't a crazy person. You are just triggered by their bad behavior. But you don't have to live like this. Today, we're going to cut the strings finally. And here is the easiest blueprint on how to stay detached, unbothered, and take back your power, because the feeling is all too common. Your heart is racing, your chest gets tight, and all of a sudden you have this urge to react right now. I have to respond to that message right now. I'm going to have to call them and tell them what I think right now. And you are hijacked. You are emotionally, you are mentally, you are physically hijacked in that moment. And you aren't responding to the present moment. More than likely, you're responding based on past interactions, past wounds, past insecurities, and it is exhausting. The constant state, living in the constant state of reacting is just exhausting. It makes you tired because you are leaking energy over time everywhere else because your internal peace is dependent on someone else's external behavior. But the problem isn't that people are annoying. They're always going to be annoying. You're always going to have Aunt Betty and Karen, and you're always going to have those people in your life. The problem is the attachment to how you think they should behave. Ooh, yeah, because we put our should on other people. And then when our expectations are not met, we are the ones left frustrated and lonely and confused and tired, when actually we put our should and how someone else should act onto them. But you're giving away your power when you do this. When you need someone to act a certain way in order for you to feel okay internally, you gave them your power. You gave them control of your mental health when you set that expectation of their behavior. And if they don't do what you think they should do, then you're going to be left disappointed. And we think we want an apology. That's what we think the goal is. If we could get that apology, if they just say they're sorry for that. But what we really want is peace. And the truth is you can have peace without the apology. And this is how you do it. It's what I call the unbothered framework. Step one is putting on the physical brakes, right? And having some somatic awareness. So before your brain starts telling you this whole story, notice your body. Notice how what's going on feels inside of your body. Are your fists clenched? Is your jaw tight? Are you tensed up? Because if you can physically ground yourself, go outside, take a deep breath, take a drink of some hot tea, any of those moments will interrupt that cycle that the other person you feel like has put you in, right? And will help you to create that somatic awareness or that awareness of your body. Okay. The second step is to be able to name it, name how that's making you feel. And cuss words, I'm pissed, I'm angry. Get more specific. Get more specific. And are you disappointed? Do you feel let down? Are you discouraged? What is the feeling that whatever they're doing, okay, those people over there, what is the feeling that it's causing in your body? Okay, acknowledge it. I'm feeling triggered because I feel disrespected. Validating that in your own self automatically lowers the intensity of the emotion that you're feeling. Because if you want to be unbothered, if you truly want to employ this framework in your life, acknowledging where you're at in those emotions is so much of the battle. Okay. The third thing you can do is detach. Okay. You're detach, making a cognitive shift. All right. So instead of being attached to this idea of they're attacking me, they're doing this to me, they're causing all of this. Okay. Change it to a state of internal. How am I feeling about this? And no matter what they do, it doesn't change who I am. Okay. Whatever their actions are, it does not change my self worth. It does not change how I feel about myself. It does not change how I show up in the world. Detaching yourself from that situation, it may be true that they are being inconsiderate, rude, disrespectful, not thinking things through, but that doesn't change who you are. So detaching from that current situation and acknowledging what's really going on and it doesn't change you allows you to take the final step in the framework, and that is to have a cool boundary. Okay. So being unbothered doesn't mean that you're a doormat. You can be internally very calm, but externally, you can still be very firm because without boundaries, you are allowing toxic people to have control of your life and you will never reach your true potential. You will never be the woman that you could have been. Do you want to die being the person, well, she had so much potential? No, you want to fulfill that while we're here right now. But saying things like, I'm not going to continue this conversation when you were speaking like that. Very calmly, rather than reactively yelling back at someone, that's putting a boundary in of this is not how I communicate when I show up in the world. We can't always control everything that happens around us, but we can control what it is we do next. Because the truth is, the goal is not to never feel anger, right? The goal is to shorten the time from when we feel these intense emotions, when we get triggered, to returning to our center. So if we can shorten how long it takes us to activate and then to okay, this is not who I am. This is not what I'm going to do. This is not how I'm going to show up. That is how we start to embrace the unbothered lifestyle. That is how we start to detach from all the shoulds that we've put on everyone else. And the truth is this is hard and it is not always easy to do alone. And if this is something you want a partner in, I'm here for you. Even if it's just a 30-minute call, we can walk through this together. And there's a link in the show notes that shows you how to do it. But this quote from author Jessica Moore really left me thinking after doing all the research for this episode. And she said this: our boundaries define our personal space. And we need to be sovereign there in order to step into our full power and potential. So if we can take control of our personal space, emotionally, physically, mentally, that is when we can truly step into our power and become who it was that we were always meant to be.